weather's beautiful today. We are going to swap a Suzuki Boulevard, which I had swapped for a Suzuki Bandit. So I'm upgrading the Bandit to the Boulevard. Now I'm swapping a Boulevard for a Suzuki Harley Sportster. And the weather is amazing to go pick it up, but it's all part of it, isn't it? So this bike is a 2013 72 model 72 1200 Sportster. Bit of a barn find, I guess you could say, because it's been stored in a damp barn for the last few years, so it's got a bit of rust on it, a bit of patina, whatever. It's not actually that bad, but the rims are marked to powder coat. Needs a new battery, which I've ordered. Was running when they parked it in there. Probably haven't ridden it. They haven't ridden it for about 3 years. So anyway, that's the project. I'm going to build a chopper, I think, or some sort of brat bike or whatever they call it. I like the styling of a chopper, but the only issue I have is that I like to ride reasonably quick sometimes when I feel the need, and chopper's not really set up for that. So I want to build a cross between kind of like a scrambler and a chopper. So maybe that, I think that's what they might call a brat bike. But anyway, it'll be unique. It's not going to be like every other one I've seen on the internet. So anyway, let's go get this and we will show you a picture of it shortly. Okay. Plan today is I've ordered a battery. Has been sitting in a shed for nearly 3.5 years. Will definitely need a service. Lots to do really. The worst part is the wheels. The spokes are pretty rusty, so I might have to go get those re-spoked at some stage, and I'm thinking about maybe powder coating the wheels black. Today I think I'm going to take the forward controls off and put mid controls, because I want to build something that's a little bit more chopper, scrambler type. I don't know, Frisco chopper maybe. And the mids they're not very far forward for me anyway, so it feels cramped anyway, so I might as well just have mids. The forward controls are cramped, so I might as well just have mids. And I've got mids from an old bike that I converted to forwards once, so hopefully those will fit. As you can see, if you have a look closely, it's pretty dirty. I mean, most of that will polish off, look. Most of that is just dirt and dust. See, the chrome is actually still sweet. That all just comes off. None of that's rust. So I'm pretty stoked with that. I'm going to change the bars, I think. Not fully convinced yet on what I'm going to run. I've got a whole pile of bars, but none of them are the ones that I really want. I don't even know what they're called. They're kind of like rabbit ears, but I don't know if that's
but more T-bar.
These are T-bars.
Yeah, but rabbit ears, but more T-bar shaped.
Yeah, there is a T-bar set that you can get that looks real chopper, and what it does is it comes straight up here, and then this bar here is just straight, not bent like this.
Right.
And that gives it that real decent stance. I've got some slugs to put in here so that it'll extend the front forks to make it a bit taller, because I do like riding quite fast through the forest. These grips are toast, but that's alright. I like replacing my grips anyway. I don't like this style of grip. So I will be replacing lots of stuff on this bike. These ones are absolutely toast.
We ride the edge of wild unknowns, no maps, just trust to guide us home. Hearts wide open, winds that shift, this is the magic of a fearless risk. No fear, no brakes, just sky and soul. Every mile we're breaking the mold. Ride on, dreamer, chase the spark. You are the flame that lights the dark. Just sky and soul. Every mile we're breaking the mold. Ride on, dreamer, chase the spark. You are the flame that lights the dark. Fearless, fearless risk. Live free, my deep love.
Sponsored by Puhoi.
Barracuda. Can you not? Place that. What's that? Pulled it all apart.
Yeah.
Don't know if I know where everything goes.
He's joking.
Oh, what is all this wiring for? I'll just drop that off. I don't reckon we need that. That's kind of weird. It's all different colours. How the fuck are you supposed to know where it goes? I was kind of thinking something like that. Like drag bars, mid-controls with drag bars. Without spending lots of money at the moment. I'm already going to have to buy new wheels because they're super rusty.
So rusty.
The spokes are all rusty, and then even the rims have rust, so they're going to need powder coating. So if I can save myself some money at the moment, I'm going to. I might just run drag bars, just set up as a little fucking quick little spike,
Yeah.
and I don't know, it doesn't need to be a chopper just yet. Chopper's going to be a lot of work, so now I just want to get it on the road and legal and rideable, and then I can modify it later. So I'm doing all the free stuff at the moment. Those bars or those bars? I don't know. I'll just leave those there.
Sleep on it.
Sleep on it. That's right. Okay.
Add enough?
Let's do it. These gloves are really good. Like, I always buy neoprene gloves because I'm a mechanic, and because I always thought that neoprene is what you need. Is it neoprene or is it something like that? Anyway, these are just latex gloves, and they're so much more comfortable, and touch wood, I haven't ripped one pair yet. I would have gone through a bloody 2 or 3 pairs of neoprene gloves by now, and they're like $60 a box, and these were like $10.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing that it's because latex is not supposed to be oil resistant, as well. I'm guessing is probably the reason for it, but they seem to be oil resistant so far.
Petroleum
I've
resistant.
been touching oil and shit all day, and I haven't mounted a pair, so I don't know why I'd bother spending so much money on neoprene. I'm never going to do that again. Anyway, okay. So for now, I've decided I'm going to keep those bars on there, polish all this up, get it all sweet. The bars are going to be one of the last things I do on this bike because I want to get everything else sorted and all back together. I want to do all the rims and everything first, get it all going, service it, new battery, put everything back together. Before I muck around changing the style of the bars, I want to ride it a few times and work out what's going to fit me. Now that I've got mid-controls, that might change where I want the bars. And there's another bike up the hill, which is an old wreck. It's not a Harley, it's a Suzuki, but it was going to go to the dump, and so I've kind of salvaged it, and I'm going to go up there now and probably roll that down the hill and strip that, because I think maybe I quite like the rear guard on it. It's got like a rear guard on it that looks like a wide glide diner, so I'm going to toy with the idea of chucking that on this, to give it a totally different look rather than the round, sporty, normal guard, which I don't like the look of that much. So anyway, let's get into some more bits and pieces.
Let's do that. Well, I don't really know, apart from that. Have fun.
Be used on something or sold. Old school.
I need
This was
indicators.
brand new. He bought this. I could clean all that back up again and sell it again. Nice. Anyway, we're going to upcycle. Rather than letting shit like this go to the dump, we're going to strip shit off it. You know, I might better list a Speedo on Trade Me, give it a paint and clean up. Someone might want a Speedo, $50. There's a seat, $50. That reservoir I might get $50 or $60 once I give it a clean up. These hand controls all work still. The motor itself was a runner. It's done 52,000. Probably sell that for a couple $100. The engine, if someone's got a blown one. Yeah, see, it still works. Levers, $10. Yeah, all this shit really. Like anything else, I'll just throw to the dump. But why not? When it's here, and I could make money from it. Might as well. So guys, that was taking ages to start pulling that bike down the end there apart. So I've decided that it'll take me 5 or 10 minutes to come up with a better way of doing it, and that'll save me heaps of time stripping in the future. So what I'm doing, I've got an old AEG drill here that is a rattle gun. It's just a normal one that you'd use for tech screwing and stuff. I've obviously upgraded to Hikoki. So what I'm going to do is modify this bit. So, sorry, the lighting's not that great in here. So this bit is a bit that I bought a long time ago. It's never come with the chamfer on there though. So the chamfer I'm talking about is like this. See that? So that, when I poke that in there, and I pull that back, obviously I need 2 hands, that will click in there and won't come out, whereas this didn't come with a chamfer. So what I'm about to do now is I'm going to stick this in the drill so that it's just sticking out. I'm going to then grab this chainsaw file. It's about the right circumference for that. See, I'm going to then stick it in the drill and spin this. I'm going to then, sorry, I need 2 hands for all this. I'm going to then spin it, and I'm going to hold this on it until I get it down so it's got a chamfer in it, like that. Then that'll click into my impact wrench. I'll chuck my spare battery in, and then I'll just have this one dedicated, because I don't use this anymore anyway. I'll use this one dedicated to, that'll be then 3/8. And I'll buy some more bits at some point, but I'll be able to use that, and I'll get a 1/4 inch one of these. I have one somewhere, I just can't find it. And I'll do the same thing so that I can chuck it in the rattle gun and rip all the bolts out in no time, rather than mucking around with a rattle gun. Ratchet, spending the long way doing it. So all I did, as you can see, was I got that to the same length, marked around there with that paint pen. See? Marked around there. I'm going to spin it in the drill and put the chamfer in using this chainsaw file, which is exactly the same. And then I'll have a rattle gun for undoing bolts and speed my days up working on stuff. That bike's for sale, by the way. That bike is going to be rebuilt this winter. I've got another engine for it. It's a TF125, the same as my other one in behind there that my beautiful partner Freya is learning to ride on. So I currently am a builder, but I'm off work. I used to be a mechanic too, but I'm off work because I've got a fucked neck, and wrenching doesn't help either. But I can't do any building work at the moment, so I am going to make the most of my ingenuity and my skills by making money the best I can, which at the moment I've got time and just not a body that handles it. But I'm going to strip that bike and sell all the parts off it. That was a GS250 Suzuki, like tank seats. I'm going to probably use the rear guard on this. I'm going to have to modify it somewhat, but to me, it's not even sitting in the right position for where I want it. But to me, that already looks 100 times better than this ugly, round, traditional guard. And I can modify that. So I'm going to use a pointer here. If I cut that arc up a bit further to wherever I want it to be, maybe I could traditionally run that tail light. I'm not going to be running those indicators. That will all go. The only thing I will run would probably be the tail light to make it look old school. And my brake lights and indicators on this bike, because it's injected, they currently go into one of these bolt holes with these black covers on. I'm not going to run the chrome ones anymore. I want to go black. I've got some new shocks hopefully on their way. And yeah, so the brake lights are normally in the side indicators. That's one of them over there, see? So that has the brake light and indicator in the same light. There was never normally a tail light on this bike. So I reckon if I ran a cool old school tail light like that one and run that sweeping guard like a wide glide. Sorry, got so many things on my mind at the moment. That's the seat that came on it. But I have a single seat lying around here somewhere for a sporty that I'm probably going to run on this. I'm going to build a sissy bar that goes from those connecting rods up and out. Single seat, double seat for when I double. Currently doesn't have pegs, but there is 2 mounting points down in there to put pegs. And a couple of people have told me just run these bars because they're quite cool, but we'll see. I wouldn't mind saying a bit more choppery, but and I'm going to put slugs in the front to extend the front forks. Yeah, and then wheels. Wish I could find some wheels, but that'll happen. Worst case scenario, I'm just going to see, there's a bit of rust in here. Worst case scenario, I am going to just clean these rims up best I can, get new spokes put in, and just run them until a later date when maybe I can afford some mags or buy some mags. It's a 21-inch front wheel, and I don't really want to go to anything else because I reckon it looks good. So I'll keep you posted on that anyway. Guys, as you can see, it was a bit harder than I thought. Is it going to focus on there? See, it put a groove in it. So that steel was probably high tensile or something like that anyway, because this file didn't really want to touch it. But anyway, I just did it quite fast, got this quite fast, and what I found was at the beginning of this file here, it doesn't actually have, it's just smooth, see? So what I did is I just ran it from the smooth bit onto that bit and just keep going like that and spun the drill quite quick. So what it's done now is it's put a groove on this. I can now try and undo it with one hand. There's a groove in it. And now I've got to pull this down, sorry guys, I've got one hand. So I pull that up and pull that down. Sorry, I tried this before and it works, so I know that it's not that. Yeah, see, it's stuck in there now. And now all I've got to do is pull it up and it pops out, and now I've got to find it. But anyway, so now, does everyone else's shed workbench look like this? Surely it's not just me. Oh my god, bit of a collector, but you know what? Every single thing in this shed has a use. It's not rubbish, it's all parts. Anyway, so yes, that now, there we go, that now clicks in and out of that, which is what I wanted. So now I can put a socket on the end of that and we can smash out some bloody stuff instead of you guys just having to watch boring old unbolting videos. Changing the bars, but I think I'll leave those until I've got these divided together, because at the moment I'm getting in so many pieces that it's just going to be hard to put it all back together. So I'm going to get it all to where I kind of want it. I'll need the shocks, the rims are pretty stuffed, but I found a place in Warkworth that rebuilds rims, so when I can afford that, I'll do that. But in the meantime, I might just sand the spokes and paint them, just so I can get it alive. And yeah, looking at everything, I might change the rear guard, different tail lights, all the different front indicators that are kind of a bit more hidden. And I put slugs in the front. Suspension make it a bit taller. I've already converted it to mids, as you would have seen. Anyway, I'll show you around the bike and see as it is now. As you can see, she's in quite a few different pieces. I'm not sure. It's full of projects. Okay, so rear shocks I'm going to change at some point. They're pretty rusty. I just put mid controls yesterday. I'm going to put slugs in the front to make that longer. The rims, they're kind of hard to see in this light, but all the spokes pretty well rusty. The rims themselves, where is it? Over here. I don't know which part of there's rust to it, so I'm not sure what to do about that. It won't polish off. Need a bit of rust on the discs too. I fitted mids yesterday, so I'm going to relocate the coil. Coil's going to go up in here somewhere. I haven't worked that out yet. I polished all this yesterday and fitted mids. The whole bike needs a wash, but I've decided that in the meantime I'm just going to polish all the good bits and then I can give it a decent scrub with maybe some moto muck. Polished a lot of this side yesterday too. Sorry if the lighting's not that great in here. This is going to need, I'm going to paint all this, get the corrosion off, going to replace those, taking the guards off. Probably, I'm not sure yet with the covers. Cover is over here. I'm not sure if I'm going to bare metal those maybe bare metal the tank. What else have we got? I've ordered a smaller air cleaner, so it's only going to be about that big, so you can see more of the engine. Put the mids on yesterday. I have pulled all the stupid plastic, all that was all covered in plastic wiring bullshit, and the coil was up in here, and that was all filled in with coil wiring, bloody ignition switch, all that crap. So now I'm going to tape all this up, and that's going to be hidden up underneath the tank, so that eventually, once this is all out of the way, you'll better see a gap under the tank and above the head. Let the head breathe a bit better too. Hey buddy, coming to do some wrenching with me. So anyway, that's where I'm at this stage. Let's work out what we're going to get done today anyway. Hopefully I'm going to try and make some fucking leads, baby. I've made leads in the past before, for V8s and shit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to rip this. This is the bit I need for the coil. Ripping this piece out of the out of these ends, and then I'm going to try and I'm going to cut this end off, so this end will go on the spark plugs. So I'm going to, these ends are going to go on here, and I'm going to bring them over, cut them off where I want them, crimp these ends on, put that further through, crimp them on, and pull it back in, hopefully, see if it'll work.
Nice.
If not, I'll have to buy some. But I've got all the bits to do it, so hopefully I can make some. Ones which are off my fat bob. Spare fat bob ones. I'll just run those until I get some others made.
Right.
So I started wire brush wheeling. See? See that? I wire brushed that one.
What?
With this. Wire brush on there. And it took all the fucking rust off. $500. See? I just wire brushed that all off. I could just spend ages doing all of them. It's going to cost me what? Fucking $800 a wheel. So spending $1,600, I could just spend hours. So anyway, we'll see. We'll see what fucking happens. What I decide.
Tell me what you've done so far.
What have I done so far? lots. I've stripped out all the wiring loom thing from out here. See, this is all going to be taped and put up under the tank. Pulled out the ignition coil, which is down here, pulled that all out, pulled the ignition switch out. That's all going to be mounted here with that mount that I just welded up and made instead of buying one. I've polished all of the chrome and put mid controls on, took the Fords off because I don't really like Fords. I'm an ex-dirt bike rider, so I like to fucking be able to control my bike with mids. Pulled all the battery stuff apart and I'm rerouting because a lot of that wiring, I don't know who had been working on this bike, but it wasn't where it was meant to be. It's pretty obvious where it was meant to be because there's channels that the wires run in, but they weren't in the right channels. Anyway, pulled all the covers off so I can get to all this. I'm going to have to clean up some of this because it's a little bit rusty. Put my new shocks down there to go on the back. I'm going to have to strip the back wheel, sort that out. It's a bit dark for you to be doing a video, really, isn't it?
Alright.
Cut through here with the grinder. I cut nearly all the way through, not quite, and then I put the jack in here and jacked this over, and I put a a string line, look, right the way down the chassis, and I brought it all the way down through the middle, through all these lugs, and then jacked this out and measured back to the string line, and this was 10mm bent in, and then this one, because that was 10mm bent in, they obviously probably bent that one out a little bit to accommodate for the guard, but it meant that the guard was always a bit lopsided, and it would sometimes it would rub on the tyre when there's heaps of weight on. So I've straightened this back over, and I've straightened that back over, and now these sections here, these are even a little bit bent. Each one's bent. Whether that's not supposed to be, or I don't know, but I'm going to straighten them up a little bit anyway, because then the guard will actually go back in the middle. So this side, what have I done? I pulled all the covers off. I was thinking about bare metaling all these covers and the tank and having it a bare metal bike, but I haven't fully decided that yet. I just took them off anyway so I could get to everything and clean it all properly because it was a bit dirty. Polished this side, pulled all the air intake off. Whoever I bought the bike off hadn't done an air filter for ages, so I've got a whole new air cleaner coming. It's just a nice little one. Mid controls again. Pretty much all this side of the bike's pretty good. Got new bars coming, got new grips coming, and these mirrors will come off. The indicators are going to be taken off and changed for little black ones that are kind of hidden, and you only see them once they glow, and they're LED. New bars, I've got some built well bars coming that are more chopper-like, but when I do that I might have to relocate the speedo. So I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to put the speedo yet, but I might try and relocate it around the front so that it's above the tank, so it's easy to see. Because it would be nice if this was all clean and it was just the headlight, the bars, and then if the speedo was on this side, it would look nice and clean from the front. It would look real good. And I've got some slugs to go in the forks to make them 2 inches taller, so it'll be a bit more chopper-like. And pull the caps off and put the slugs in. I'm going to also check to see if it's got progressive springs in it or not, and if it doesn't, I'll buy some and put some in, and maybe change the oil. Nice. And I'm going to give the motor a service, which I haven't ordered yet, but I'm going to get it running first. I want to make sure it runs sweet, because it hasn't been running for 3 or 4 years. I want to make sure it's running good before I bother spending money on servicing it, but I'm pretty sure it'll be sweet. It was running sweet last time it was running, so new battery on the ground, ready to go in. And then it'll be a jigsaw puzzle to put it all back together.
Woohoo! Then you're smart.
But it's not, it's pretty fucking straightforward and simple, really. I might have to get some new leads from Harley, but I might just run these ones for a while and buy some shorter ones later, or I'll try and make some, but I'm not sure how successful I'll be at doing that.
Give it a go. Give it your best.
Okay.
Alright, comment, like, subscribe for updates, and if you want to be friends.
We need some friends. We want some riding buddies.
Some
is what we
riding
want.
buddies.
Me and my mate Paul, we ride together, but it'd be cool to find some other people that would like to ride. He's in Whangarei and I'm in the Hokianga, so Anyone who wants to go for some rides,
We're willing to travel.
Chopper Club, man. So, got a Suzuki Bandit and a
Suzuki Swift.
Harley Sportster, which I know it's a girl's bike, but whatever.
You're a girl, eh, darling?
I've had heaps of twin cams and big blocks, and I actually really like sporties. And I'm not that tall, I'm not that big, so I don't need a big bike.
You're pretty big.
My ego is not that big. I don't need to prove anything.
Okay. That's been that. It's over and out.
Okay, over and out. That's enough for today.
So that's episode 1.
Every turn's a new vision, every breath's a spark. We're riding our legends, leaving our mark. No fear, no brakes, just sky and soul. Every day